All right, everybody, welcome to Frightmare HQ. My name is Lloyd Cryer, and I am here today with... All right, everybody.
I heard
welcome
about
to
you,
Frightmare
Lloyd.
HQ. My name is Lloyd Cryer,
Yeah, can you hear
and I
me?
am here today with...
I don't hear an echo.
You don't? That's crazy. Well, anyway,
I heard about you,
Frightmare
Lloyd.
HQ. My name is Lloyd Cryer,
Yeah, can you
and I am
hear
here
me?
today with...
Is it No, I don't hear an echo.
You don't? Weird. That's crazy. Well,
I don't hear
all right,
anything.
everybody.
I heard
just keep
about you,
rocking
Lloyd.
Frightmare HQ. My name is Lloyd.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you having a stroke?
Do you hear that?
Is it
I think you guys.
No, I don't hear an
I think
echo.
you got something going on. Weird. That's crazy. Well,
I don't
all
hear
right,
anything. Oh, me?
everybody.
No,
Just
I'm
keep
not.
rocking Frightmare HQ. My name is Lloyd.
Are you okay?
Yeah. It's like a super echo or something.
Oh,
Weird. That's crazy. Well,
I don't hear
all right,
anything. Oh, me?
everybody.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, anyway,
Oh,
here we
what'd you do?
are. It's 19. Whoa, what happened to Charles? He just left. Crazy. Well, we'll wait for Charles to join us. We'll go ahead and just start talking about what we got going on. This is 1999, everybody. We are going to be discovering or revisiting, depending on if you've seen these films or not, the year of 1999 and some of the crazy films. Let's see. I think Charles is back. All right, there he is. He's back.
Did you throw me? You threw me off, Lloyd. You were like, I'm done with Charles.
No, didn't do that. But the echo has resolved. I think we're all good to go, everybody. So I was just telling everybody we're going to talk
Sweet.
about 1999, the year in horror. The
Yeah,
last year of the 90s decade. Well,
We made
depending
it
on how
through the
you look at it,
90s.
I guess.
Well, we made it through the 90s. There was about 6 good movies total. And, we went through all 6 of them in detail. So that was it. We're done.
There you go. No, there's actually some pretty good movies in 1999.
Actually, I was going to say 1999 was a good year. We kind of went out with a little bit of a shaboom boom. Like that. That's what we did, all right?
We did. We kind of ushered in the new millennium in 1999. And there's a few
We
favorites
did.
on this list from 1999 of mine, at least.
A few of mine, too. I'm kind of a fan of a few things here.
Yep. I know one I bet
I
you're a
was-
big fan of, and I bet you don't think I have seen this movie, but I have.
Oh, it's probably one that I know then.
Yeah. And I'm actually
But-
looking forward to talking about that movie.
I also threw a couple on the list here that were probably not very good either.
Yeah. Well,
There's a couple of questionable items that I've done here, and I apologize for that.
what's the saying? You play the hand you're dealt, right, Charles?
Sometimes you get dealt a shitty hand, and sometimes you make the hand shitty. And that's what I did on this occasion.
There you go. Well, I think we ought to say hello to everybody. There's quite a few people, looks like, that are with us tonight. I've said hello in chat to a few people, but Ingrid's here. Travis is here.
Ingrid,
Yeah.
perfect.
Stephen Burt. Todd Lewis.
Bert,
Charles Anderson. He says morning all. David Dugas. And it's
Dugas?
Dugas or Dugas. He said we could call him Dugas.
it's David Dugas. Hey, hello, I'm David Dugas.
It's kind
How
of
are
like
you
that
today?
commercial where he's going in for a job interview and the guy's name is Dumas and he keeps calling him Mr. Dumbass. Have you seen that?
Look, he's Dugas then. All right, Dugas.
He's Dugas. Let's see. Patrick LaGrave is also here. Jeanette Nolan. She says, just wanted to say I'm so thankful for Lloyd and Charles and family, and my favorite about 2020 is when Tom Savini showed off his chest.
Oh yeah, he did too. He showed off that chest, man. You know what? I was gonna do it too, but then, he did it, and I was like, well, you can't do it first. Jeez, I can't lead with that.
Yeah.
So,
JRE is here. Chrissy Gilliland. Who else we got? Am I missing anybody? I think that's it for now. But
I think
welcome.
that's it.
Welcome to everybody. And, oh, there's Allie Tappa. Hey, what's up?
Allie's here. Sweet.
Okay, Todd. Todd, is this better? I didn't have my mic right next to me. That should be better.
Oh my God, Lloyd, you're so robust now and loud.
Look at me. So what we're going to do, I think we go ahead and jump right into this. What do you think, Charles?
Be like, Lloyd, hey guys. Hi, welcome to Frightmare HQ.
Hello.
You want to get nasty? You want to get nasty? You want to take off your panties, throw them against the wall? Well, I got movies for you to do it to. We're going to start off with a movie from 1999. It was a little nasty, a little stinky, and it's right up David Dugas's alley. Here it is.
Doodly doo doo doo. Is that the song?
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Hope
guys.
you're ready.
First movie
All right,
on
Lloyd.
the
What
list,
do you got?
Charles. Charles. Yeah, I saw this movie a long time ago, and I barely remember anything. But when the crew of an American tugboat boards an abandoned Russian research vessel, the alien life form aboard
Tugboat Lloyd.
regards them as a virus which must be destroyed. Released January 15th, 1999, it's the American sci-fi horror film Virus, directed by Bruno Mars. Oh, no, John Bruno. And starring...
It's Bruno Mars directed this movie, actually. This is his first forte. Bruno Mars.
And starring Jamie Lee Curtis, William Baldwin, and Donald Sutherland, based on the comic book by the same name by Chuck Farrer, or Farrer. Not sure how that's pronounced. But this is Virus.
Oh, Lord.
That's basically, that's all I really remember of this movie, is that it was a Jamie Lee Curtis movie. And they were on a kind of a cargo ship or something. Russian research vessel.
Yeah, I always kind of liked this movie. This movie was loathed by like everybody. It bombed, made no money. Even Jamie Lee Curtis tried to get the director fired during it because saying the movie was junk while they were making it. So, but I think in the end, I thought it was a fun movie. It's not well made, but the guy who directed this, John Bruno, is not known for being a director. The only other thing he directed besides this was the T2 Across 3D Universal Studios ride, whatever it was.
Did he do that?
Whatever that thing was.
Yeah. I've heard.
John Bruno's actually known
for
for
it's
being
got like Schwarzenegger and the kid from T2, and I don't know. It was kind of a ride, but it's
everybody who had to fulfill their contractual obligations. Basically, was in that. They're like, all right, fine.
Okay,
I'm the Terminator. But John Bruno's actually a really, really talented visual effects artist from way back when. He mainly worked with Cameron. He won an Oscar on The Abyss for visual effects. The Abyss was awesome. But I know he started off in horror because he started off doing visual effects for Ghostbusters and Fright Night. So he's got a career in horror, and he was basically James Cameron's kind of visual effects go-to guy because he did Terminator 2, Titanic, True Lies, Avatar, and this movie was produced by Gail Ann Hurd, so James Cameron kind of had his little hands all over everything. But nobody liked this movie. It's kind of funny because this I'm wondering if this was one of the last rated R movies that had children's toys tied into it, because they didn't do that as much after 1999 that I recall.
Oh, really?
For like rated R films, because Virus had a whole slew of like children's toys that came out, and they're actually collectible now. And it's kind of weird when you see like a rated R film. And it's like, check out all these new toys for Billy. Oh, I'm losing my face.
From the rated R movie Virus. What happened to William Baldwin since then?
He works at Big Lots.
I'm just looking at that, and I'm trying to think of the last time I heard of William Baldwin being in a semi big movie.
Well, he did reprise his role as Brian McCaffrey in Backdraft 2. The movie that everybody loved.
Boom, Backdraft 2.
I'm pretty sure he works at Big Lots. If you go to Big Lots in Reseda Hills, California, he's like, "Welcome to Big Lots. I'm William Baldwin. If you'd like to try our new 2-for-1 special, it's on potatoes today. From the tip aisle, you can buy 1 bag of chips. You get a can of Lysol for free. Thank you."
Oh, poor William Baldwin. Hendershot 555 is on Twitch, and he says William Baldwin is a preacher now. I didn't know that.
Oh,
is he
Lord.
is he the same Baldwin brother that does the recovery clinic, the drug recovery, like the rehab commercials in Texas? I know one of the Baldwin brothers does one of those, but I can't remember which one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're all the same brother. They just morph into a different kind of looking person for whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's all the same person.
Well, while we're talking about Hendershot, I want to welcome him to the show and
What's up,
congratulate
Hendershot?
him on his 5-month subscription at Tier 1 on Twitch. Thank you for your subscription. We appreciate
It's
that.
my Twitch dance. It's
And,
nasty.
Mr. 80s
Twitch.
1224
Twitch.
Is there as well.
Mr.
And
80s.
Let's see who else.
Man with a plan.
Yeah, there's Twitch Nate 81 is also watching, and a couple of others, but I can't tell who they are right now. Anyway, back to the show. So that was Virus. What else do we have to say about Virus, Charles?
You know, not much else about Virus. You know, I it's gained kind of a cult following the last few years. You know, some people like it. I always thought it was a lot of fun, but I could see where it's cheesy. You know, at the time it was kind of a movie that was supposed to be taken seriously, and I never took it seriously. So that's probably why I always liked it. I'm like, this is dumb. I love it.
Yeah.
But it's not streaming anywhere. You gotta rent it on Amazon or Apple TV, or Shout Factory also brought a Blu-ray out a few years ago that's still available because only like 23 people like me bought it. So, you know, it's still out there.
Yeah. So there you go. That is Virus, everybody. I'll put the poster up one more time before we move on to the next one. What do we have next, Charles?
It's a weird movie that nobody's seen either. This is kind of a stupid. I don't know. This is a movie that everybody says they don't like, but I decided to put it in here anyway.
Yeah, and I don't get that, but we'll talk about that later.
I don't know. Do you want me? Maybe we should just skip this one. Does anybody even want to talk about this movie? Lois?
Hell yeah, we do. Yeah, it has to be
All
on
right.
the list.
All right, fine. 3 film students vanish after traveling into Maryland forest to film a documentary on a local legend about the Boogans. Ooh. Let's see. Filmed a documentary on a local legend, leaving only their footage behind. This first debuted at the Sundance Film Festival, January 25th, 1999. It's an American supernatural horror film called The Blair Witch Project, written, directed, and edited by Daniel Merrick and Eduardo Sanchez.
Yes.
Witch Project.
Blair Witch Project. Well, so like you said earlier, this movie gets hated on a lot, which I don't really understand because you basically got a low-budget independent horror movie that made it big time, and everybody's mad at it. That's the way I see it.
You know, it was one of the most successful independent films of all time. It grossed like $250 million on a $250,000 budget. So that's kind of a good turnaround, and it revitalized. It revitalized, not really kind of revitalized, but kicked off again found footage, and it's still being seen in movies today or trying to copy Blair Witch. It wasn't the first found footage movie by far. I mean, everybody calls that Cannibal Holocaust, but
Yep.
I mean, in reality, I mean, found footage in a style goes back to like 1950s TV shows and stuff. There was an episode of whatever the 50s show was where it was James Bond, and it was a Casino Royale episode, and it's kind of a found footage type episode. That was like one of the first things I know of.
Well, I will say that, a lot of people do trash this movie, but I think it did give the horror genre in general, a injection that it really, really needed, because it was dying in the 90s. Let's just admit it. It was becoming a beast of its own that horror fans weren't even interested in a lot of the horror movies that were coming out.
Yeah, and it definitely kickstarted it too much though. Not even outside of horror. I mean, everything was trying to be found footage. It was like, this is the story of when I found my keys behind the couch. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
What? And the footage I left behind. Like everybody was doing it, but
Everybody
Yeah,
and I think that's the part a lot of people get upset with, is that it really did just found footage movies went into overdrive after that.
Yeah.
And they just kind of resented that part of it, but
they haven't slowed down really.
they haven't
Found
slowed
footage is
down.
Still
Yeah.
going.
Yep.
20
And-
years later.
And there have been some really good found footage movies as of late within the last few years, and you can't deny it. So whether we hate found footage or not, there are some good ones out there.
I'm kind of the person who loves some of the found footage movies that have come out. I mean, Record. As Above, So Below. I like those
Yep.
movies. Cloverfield. I love some of the movies that came out of this.
The
I think
Taking of Deborah Logan.
Taking Deborah Logan. I like a lot of the movies that came out of this. So I'm kind of one of the people who's like, I don't care. Just throw them at me. I'll watch them. But if they're not good, I'll just forget about it and I'll watch it again. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. So we do have a trailer. Let's go ahead and watch that. And I'll point out something that kind of caught my attention. This was the first thing that caught my attention when I saw this trailer.
What's up for the weekend?
So it started now, Charles. We've got the legend of the Blair Witch has existed for centuries, and then they talk about how they entered the woods.
I'm real excited about this. Thank you for
The part in this trailer that kind of sucked me in when I first saw it was the mention of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They say, "Oh, not scarier than Texas Chainsaw Massacre."
Did it scare the hell out of you, Lloyd?
It just got me interested,
How do we know?
And two, you got to remember, a lot of people fell for this in the beginning. There it is, scarier than the
Oh my
Texas
God.
Chainsaw Massacre.
People fell for this as real until they saw these people like at award shows. They were like, "Wait a second, they found them."
Yeah.
It's like, they were never gone.
A lot of people truly fell for it, and people are commenting that they fell for it originally. And I did too. I think everybody did it first. We were like, "What?" But the dead giveaway is the quote, "scarier than Texas Chainsaw Massacre," because it's basically a lie, just like Texas Chainsaw Massacre was. That it was real.
Everybody still says Texas Chainsaw. People still say Texas Chainsaw Massacre is real.
You still
like,
have that, yeah.
My brother knew them. Like what?
All right. Well, I don't know what reality they're living in, right, Charles?
You're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, really, it's something that you think that the guys who directed this would have went on and had a really large career, but they didn't really.
Yep.
The one guy, Eduardo Sanchez, I know has been directing a lot of TV, which is kind of a trend. I know he did some of the From Dusk Till Dawn and Supernatural. The other guy was it Daniel Myrick? He didn't really do much else besides this. I mean, I assumed he probably just lives off the proceeds of Blair Witch. That's what I would do. I'd be like, "Yep, made Blair Witch.
Yeah.
Never worked again. It was good."
Well, we had Eduardo has been a guest at our event. We've had the other three main actors as well as guests, and they're all really pleasant people. And it's like you said, it's kind of crazy that they didn't go on to do much bigger things. But
I mean, I guess when your independent film grosses like $250 million, you're just like, I guess I just hang out for a while.
Yeah,
I don't really care. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
But you can't deny that this was a landmark film. No matter if you love it or hate it, it was a landmark film. It really was.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was very much a landmark film, and much like the directors, the three people in the movie, Heather, Joshua, and Michael. I mean, I feel like it basically like ruined their careers, kind of, because I mean, nobody wanted to give them roles. I know Joshua Leonard's went on to do quite a few stuff, but for like a while they couldn't be put in anything else because people were like, "You're people from Blair Witch. No, you're okay."
Yeah.
So you see him like in much stuff at all. That's what happens a lot of these kind of movies, you know?
Yep. It's kind of crazy, but we celebrated, I think, the 15th anniversary at Texas Frightmare Weekend. I want to say that, what was that, 2014 maybe? Something
I think
like
it was
that.
2014. Yeah, that was cool though to see all of them there.
Very cool.
And Joshua Leonard, who was one guy, he's went on. He was in Bates Motel and some other stuff too. So I'm happy to see him getting some recurring stuff. I hate when these people, like I said, do these movies and they just sort of disappear on us.
Yeah.
It's a lot of times it's the outfall and they get pigeonholed in this. You were in Blair Witch. All right.
Yeah, it's really bizarre even this day and time, but there you go. Blair Witch Project, landmark film from 1999. Very, very big deal. Everybody was going to see this movie in the theater. So,
man, everybody. It's streaming on Hulu if you guys want to watch it. That's the only place it's streaming.
Cool.
There's a Lionsgate Blu-ray for $10 on Amazon.
What a deal. Not that Blu-ray really
remember,
brings anything to the picture quality in this one.
Well,
you could have put it out on DVD and it would have been fine.
They made so many of these on VHS that you could still buy brand new VHS tapes of this for like $2.
Yeah.
And Amazon will still send you one. Amazon still has like 800,000 in their warehouse. Like, you want one? We'll send you two. Like, please take it.
Wow.
It's crazy.
All right. Well, the next one, I'm going to go ahead and introduce this one.
It's a good one.
It is a good one. A dangerous blizzard hits an isolated town and brings along a mysterious stranger intent on terrorizing people for his own desires. First premiering on ABC, February 14th, Valentine's Day, 1999.
Valentine's Day.
This is the American horror TV series Storm of the Century, directed by Craig R. Baxley and written by some dude named Stephen King.
He's going to scare the hell out of you.
He's going to scare the hell out of you. Unlike many other TV adaptations of Stephen King's work, Storm of the Century was not based on a novel, but was an original screenplay written by the author and directly produced for television.
We're going to scare the hell out of you. Whoa. I remember this came out. This was kind of the 90s was the era of Stephen King made for television.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they had to do. But yeah, it's pretty cool because this is one that he wrote for TV. I know that right before it aired, they released it as a book because they had to. They were like, "Oh man, we got to release it as a book."
Yeah, we got to cash in on that.
Got to cash in on that. Stephen King's got to lick every page so we can sell it for an extra $20. Like, yep, do it.
This was a good series, very suspenseful. The acting was really good. I like Storm of the Century. I have clear memories of when this aired on television back in 1999, and I remember my neighbors talking about it. Oh, we're gonna go watch Storm of the Century. So it was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I can remember watching this as well. It was really successful on TV, and the VHS followed closely, and it was rush released to all kinds of different countries. So this kind of went all over the place. But you had a great cover art, and you put Stephen King's name on it. It was going to sell. That's kind of how it was.
Mm-hmm. So there were 3 episodes. So this was like I guess this was like a 6-hour miniseries on TV with commercials, right?
With commercials, I think it runs something. I don't know, not that long. I think it runs like 4.5 hours total without commercials.
Okay.
But it was a big budget. I mean, they made it for like $30 or $40 million back in '99. That's a lot of money to spend on a TV miniseries. We didn't see that on ABC probably nowadays. You'll see it on Netflix.
Well, I can remember this one being one of those Stephen King miniseries that I enjoyed the ending of versus others because I don't know, like a lot of the miniseries, especially what was it, Rose Red? That one, the ending, I just didn't like Rose Red that much, and the ending of it was kind of just rushed too.
Yeah,
and I actually liked the ending of this one.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I feel like a lot of Stephen King's, even his books, are really good, and then the endings are rushed and feel really just thrown out there. I feel like that's always been a trend with Stephen King because I've read a lot of his books, and I find myself a lot of times, taken in by the story, and then you look and you have like 10 pages left, and you're like, oh, it's going to be another one of those.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Just
how the
all of a
movie's
sudden
always
he's going to wrap
fall
it all up in a couple pages.
Then he stubbed his toe and realized it was all a dream. Oh,
The end.
okay. Yeah. It's like that. What was that? Is it Family Guy or Simpsons where he's like, I'm gonna make one out of this lamp. You were telling me about that. I'm making a story about this lamp. It's haunted.
Yeah, his publisher's pressuring him for another book. Hey, Steven, got that new book ready? No, I'm still working on it, but the publisher's like, what's it about? This lamp. This lamp is haunted. Ooh, scary lamp.
Spooky. They're like, I'll take another 300 pages. I like the way this is going.
Yeah.
All right.
So, unfortunately, there is no Blu-ray on this one.
Never been released on Blu-ray.
Yeah, but you can still get a cheap DVD, and it'd be okay if you haven't seen it. I don't know how many people in our audience have seen Storm of the Century, but I recommend it. Just make sure you have, 4 or 5 hours set aside.
Yeah. And it's kind of one of those that, it was basically shot for television. So it's like making a Blu-ray would be hard because I think people wouldn't like it because it was shot in 1:33:1 aspect ratio, which means it was shot like a square box TV. So even if they brought out a Blu-ray, it would have to be in that same square box and probably frustrate people, or it'd have to be flattened somehow, and it probably wouldn't look right. It would look kind of weird. It'd be real hard to do.
They did it with It, the 1990 It, and it was shot on film, so it actually looks pretty good on Blu-ray, but I don't know about Storm of the Century. I don't know how it was shot. I'm sure it was shot on film. Don't you think, even in 99? I don't know.
It was shot on film. Yeah, it was shot on film.
Okay.
But yeah, it was done. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say they could put it on Blu-ray, but then, you've got that 4:3 aspect. Same thing with It, has the 4:3 aspect. You just have to kind of look past that, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the Blu-ray actually released it in the 4:3 aspect, didn't it?
It, yes. 1990
Yeah.
It, yes.
Because I remember the DVD version of it, they tried to do 178:1,
Yep.
and it looked really bad.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah. Well, you're basically blowing up a bad print already, right? I guess at that point, and so it's going to look terrible. But
yeah, you're basically having to zoom in on something and you're going to have lost footage and all kinds of crap. But
yeah,
we'll see. Who knows? Maybe we'll get it.
well, there you go. Storm of the Century, folks. I like this one. I thought it was a good one. One last look at the poster there, Charles.
Yeah, I mean, good one too. Had a good cast of people who were not really known and haven't really done much of anything else. It's nice to kind of see that. A lot of these Stephen King miniseries relied on known actors and names, and people in this were kind of a little known, but they weren't really known by a lot of people. So it kind of gave it a good feeling to it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking at the list. I mean, I don't recognize
anybody.
Yeah. So,
and
maybe they got it on their ability to act.
Maybe.
Oh wait.
Yeah, some of these people.
Here's one.
Some of these people.
I forgot Jeffrey DeMunn was in this.
Yeah, Jeffrey DeMunn's in this.
Recognize him. That's about it.
But most of these other people were people who just kind of did like little bits, parts here and there and stuff. They weren't like amateurs, but they weren't really known offhand by a lot of people.
The cast is really huge too. It's giant. There's tons of people.
Yeah, unlike all the other ones, which have like 93 known people in it. It's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like The Stand at the time, which had every 90s person in it.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on to the next one. I think that's enough for Storm of the Century.
You're my Storm of the Century. Who directed Storm of the Century, though? Who was it again?
Craig Baxley.
I don't know him. Did he do anything else?
I don't know him either.
He didn't do anything else. He probably died.
He directed Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth.
Oh wow, well that's amazing. We
He
have to talk about
also
anything else with him.
directed Action Jackson, 1988's
Oh.
Action Jackson, and
Well, that's all you had to tell me.
Yeah, and he did stunts for Predator. It says.
Oh, okay.
So he did a few things. He's got 33 credits. So
Oh shit.
not all of them are.
I don't recognize his name at all. So
They're
if I know
not
Action
winners.
Jackson.
Dark Angel with Dolph Lundgren. He directed that.
Dang.
Big time.
Everybody loves Dolph Lundgren. Dang. Yeah, I always liked that the cane that the guy uses in Storm of the Century is Stu Redman's cane from The Stand. That's always a fun little thing.
Yeah.
I remember that, but yeah, I mean it's a good miniseries. It's one of the better miniseries out of the 90s. Let's say that.
All right. All
Let's
right,
go
you're
with that.
next,
How about
big
that?
boy.
This is actually this is one that everybody has always agreed on that was much better than the original. This is a sequel. Lloyd always talks about how this is one of his favorite films.
I don't think I've ever made it through this movie. To be honest with you.
I thought you loved it. All right, well,
In fact,
A
I get
Horrible
this
Massacre.
one mixed up with another another Stephen King sequel. So go ahead.
A horrible massacre strikes up after an outcast teenage girl is taunted by a group of high school jocks. All of them unaware of her cutthroat telekinetic powers. They're cutthroat, Lloyd.
I see that.
This is released March 12, 1999. It's an American supernatural horror film called The Rage, Carrie 2, directed by Kat Shee, a sequel to the 1976 film Carrie, the movie we always wanted, guys. It came out. It came out, and we were so excited.
So I was saying that I get this one mixed up with another Stephen King movie. I always get it mixed up with Firestarter 2 Rekindled. Because
Sounds like an Amazon ad. Rekindled from Amazon.
Yeah. Well, that one
Welcome.
has Malcolm McDowell as John Rainbird. So
Oh God,
I
haven't watched that. I guess I should.
yeah. Let's just say this was a low point of 1990. How about that, Charles?
It was
Or 99, sorry.
No, the 90s as well. We'll go with that. This was a really bad movie. It had a really bad screenplay. It was shot really bad. It was just bad. The only person they could get to return was Amy Irving, and she returned for this.
I can't believe she returned for it. I could never get her to do Texas Frightmare Weekend, but she did this movie? Come on.
She'll do this. I don't know why. But she's in this, and the story made no sense, and you had to overlook a lot of stuff. But it's got Mina Savari in it, too, and Jason London. And it's
Charles,
a movie that I would
you
recommend.
sound so excited. You're like, yeah, Mina Savari's in it, and
Yeah,
Jason London, and whatever.
It's bad. Oh God, what else you would say about it? It's just, it's something that should have never existed.
It's bad.
But
God, it's bad.
But it did exist, and it was directed by a person who decided they wanted to make this movie, and that person was named Kat Shaw, whatever her name is, who's actually a decent director. She directed Poison Ivy with Drew Barrymore, which was kind of a good movie.
Yeah,
But
I remember that.
This movie wasn't.
Yeah.
And she also did Strip to Kill, which are interesting movies. Strip to Kill 1 and 2.
This movie to me is basically just the production company is the only one that wants this movie made. Nobody else, everybody's just involved to get a paycheck. Nobody cares. There's no artistic endeavor.
Yeah. But this movie was profitable. It made enough money to be considered.
Charles.
It made enough money to be considered profitable. People went and saw it.
No. I don't believe it.
It was profitable. It was considered a borderline bomb, but it made its money back in video sales. It didn't end up bombing completely. You know, you put Carrie on there, people were at the video store like, "Oh shit, Carrie! I gotta see this one. It's gonna be good."
That's basically, yeah. That's got to be the only reason anybody rented this, because they were like, "Oh, a sequel to Carrie. I never heard of it. I wonder why." Because it sucks.
I wonder why.
Because it sucks.
I saw this in theaters when it came out. And I remember being like, "Oh, Carrie sequel. I'm gonna watch this." I remember being in theaters going, "It doesn't make any sense. What the hell's going on?
Yeah,
I want my money back."
I've tried watching this movie. Like I said earlier, I've never got through it. I've woken up several times after the movie's over and just couldn't do it. But I don't know.
The best asset in the movie is the chick who's the main person, Emily Berg, whatever her name is. She's actually a good actress.
Too.
She's burgled.
Burgled.
She's burgled.
Yeah.
She's Emily burgled, and she got the shit burgled out of her in this movie because they made her do this movie. And she's actually a decent actress.
Yeah.
Not that anybody could save this movie. This is like trying to save a house fire with a bottle of Windex. You know, it's not going to happen. It's bad.
It says here on IMDb that she was in season 2 of Mindhunter. I didn't pick her out. I didn't notice her, but I love that series.
She was Mavis. She was also in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel too.
Oh, really?
She was on the TV show Same. She's been on a lot of TV shows the last.
She's
10
done
years.
a lot. It looks like, yeah. She's done a lot.
Yeah, but this was another movie that kind of dragged her down for a while because it was so badly regarded that nobody wanted to give her
first feature film. Period.
Yeah, what a way to kick your career off.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, you're that chick in Carrie too, right?" Next.
Well, she has 50 credits since '99, so I would say she's been fairly busy. So good for her.
Well, that's more than I got. So hey,
more than I got,
there you go.
Exactly. Well, anyway, there you go. Carrie 2.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Stephen King, it scared the hell out of him? Do you think it did?
It probably pissed him off until he got a paycheck, and then he was like,
He was like,
I guess I'm not that mad.
He's like, "Well, I guess I could let this movie go. It's all right. I hate The Shining.
I hate The Shining now.
But this one's okay if you got this good check here. I'm all right.
But remember, I still hate The Shining.
I hate The Shining now. I did a miniseries about The Shining. It was better.
Yeah.
You should see it.
Come here. Let me show you. Come in my screening room.
Come sit down. Go in my screening room. I don't want to. Come in here. Sit down. We're gonna watch it.
See
this scene here?
Stephen King
It's
making
much better
people,
than Kubrick.
like random people, watch his remake, and he compares it side by side to Kubrick.
The poor mailman. He like has to run up to like drop his mail. He's like, "Shit, here he comes."
Oh shit!
Hey,
Here's Stephen
mailman!
King again.
You
Hey,
gotta watch The Shining.
I queued up The Shining again. I know you love it.
We're gonna watch it. Come on in. No, okay,
No,
Stephen
King.
No, it's all right. Come on in. Oh Lord.
Well, here's one that was good. The next
all right,
one is
go
a
ahead.
good movie.
Go for it.
A teenage slacker's right hand becomes possessed with murderous intent.
Oh my God.
Everybody
It's
knows
Evil
it
Dead
now.
4.
Evil Dead 4. Released
The prequel.
April 30th, 1999. It's the American black comedy horror film Idle Hands, directed by Rodman Flender and starring Devon Sawa and Seth Green.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
I like this movie.
Lord.
It's crazy. It's it's just stupid comedy. It's fun.
It's stupid comedy. It's actually a lot of fun. It's not drawn out. It's a really short film. It's like 90 minutes to the point, and it's fun. The whole movie's fun.
It certainly is, and it's got a great cult following. A lot of people love this flick. We've got a trailer, don't we, Charles?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, let's.
So I came all the way over here. You said you was halting.
I didn't say what
You
I
know,
was
this was
holding.
I didn't say what I was.
Anton Tobias never had
This movie
much
was
on
such a
his
popular
mind.
movie. I mean,
Don't you
it
think you should have
grossed an
control?
astonishing
My
$4 million
dream life would
on a
be
$29 million
Lie around all
budget.
day in
So,
bed and
woo!
watch TV while some hot bride
Yeah,
ordering food.
this was a
And
diamond
he always
in the
had
rough
time
that I think a lot
on
of
his
people
hands.
missed originally.
4 bodies have been discovered, and the killer is still at
yeah,
large.
you know.
It
Until
must have had a
one
good
of
life
them
on VHS. Though.
But if you
Got a
notice the
mind
beginning
of
where
its own.
he's walking out, that's the same house from Halloween.
Oh, is it? Which
Which
Halloween?
Laurie's house.
Oh, was it Laurie?
Laurie Strode's version. Yeah. Same
Aren't
house.
you a little old for
Yep.
Ding Dong Ditch?
Sorry about your bush.
Yeah, this was actually
Call
filmed.
911.
The rest of it was filmed in the same neighborhood as Halloween as well.
Okay.
So
I mean, if OJ
most
can
of
get
the
off
a lot of
this-
movies were filmed in that
Your
neighborhood.
beer?
There's like a 4 square block radius
His hand.
in LA and Burbank areas that are filmed in every movie.
Oh yeah.
Filmed there.
Ew, that's disgusting.
But this was popular. I liked this movie came out. It
Undead, actually.
it definitely is like Travis Brown said, Jessica Alba before she was Miss 2000.
forget that,
Because of
man.
who she was. Nobody knew her in this movie.
And
Who's that?
only way to stop it
Jessica Alba.
idle hands
Oh,
the
yeah.
devil's playpen song. Keep my hands occupied, right? Is to keep it busy. Drop
It
the
also
knitting needles.
features
That's probably not a good idea.
cameo from the band, The Offspring, which for some reason is playing at a high school dance. Like that would actually ever happen.
Yeah. And then
Idle
they're
hands. The
they're on the
touching story of a boy
trailer here as well.
and his hand.
Yeah, I had to
So-
cut out some of their music because their music was playing. I don't feel like getting a copyright strike from The Offspring because I'll have to argue with The Offspring for 25 days.
Yeah.
So,
Boy,
I
that
don't
was
feel
a
like doing
band that I got tired of really quick. How about you?
yeah. I mean, there was that one song they did that's on this trailer. Pretty flat for a white guy. They played like every day
Yep.
for 29 straight years. It's been playing now.
I wanted to shoot myself in the face every time that song came on.
I did shoot myself in the face. That's why I look like this. It was all because of
All
this.
because of
Because of this, damn. Idle hands.
Yeah. Gotta keep them separated. I just never could stand his vocals, I guess, was what really bothered me.
What are you talking about to me? Hey!
You're gonna get us a copyright strike.
Hey! I'm really
So-
good. You hear me? I could be in a band. I could totally be in a band.
You could totally be in Charles Doe's and the Mickey Mouses.
Heck yeah, dude. I'd be so good.
He would be.
I'd be so good. Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing I like about this movie too is the score from Graham Revell is really good. And that's a guy who's scored like 10,000 freaking movies. People Under Stairs, Child's Play 2, bunch of crap. Street Fighter, he scored. I know he did like 4,900 other things, but I like Idle Hands though. It's I remember not seeing this until it came out to VHS. I remember watching the VHS and then buying it and then watching it like way too many times because I don't know. I just did.
Yeah. Well,
I just did. Lloyd.
I saw it on VHS the first time as well, so that's a fun movie.
Yeah. I concur. Well, how about yawning, dude? You gave me the yawns today.
I've had that on and off myself. See, you made me yawn just now.
I think it's all this allergy medicine I had to take because I've been dying from my allergies, and now I feel like I'm in like a weird like cocaine cloud or something. I'm like, I feel like Stephen King. I feel like Stephen King on the set of Maximum Overdrive. I'm like, oh, hey,
I'll scare the hell out of you.
Oh, what's going on? We filming? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Todd
Christ.
Lewis
What
said
else?
that song was definitely overplayed on the radio. Let's see. And then Travis says Charles is pretty fly for a white mouse.
Yeah, I agree that it's definitely a lack of sleep. I don't sleep. I just wait. I don't sleep ever.
Yeah.
I got too much stuff going on in my life to sleep. But Idle Hands, the Blu-ray's like $1. No, it's like $12.99 on Amazon. There's actually, this is one of those movies that there's like 4 or 5 different versions of Idle Hands out. It seems like
Didn't Screen
the rights
Factory
to it,
put this out?
Yeah, Scream Factory put it out too, and it's like every 5 years it passes to somebody else, and they put a Blu-ray out, and they're like, "All right, it's your turn. Okay, I'm gonna make one too," just like we see with Halloween and everything. So it happens.
Well, I will say Idle Hands is one that I want to go back and revisit soon. So I'm going to be checking Idle Hands out again. And
Dude,
just see.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a
couple
while.
of years since I've seen it, so I want to see how it holds up.
Yeah, it's been about 10 years since I've seen it.
Yeah.
I think when I last watched it is when one of the first Blu-rays came out for it, which was like 2010 or 11. And I had gotten it, and that's like the last time I'd watched it. So I can go back and watch it. I really could.
There you
So
go.
dope.
Mr. 80 said, go back and rewatch it, Lloyd. I'm going to.
Yeah,
I'm going to
Lloyd.
do that. All right.
Yeah, Lloyd.
Well, next up is a fun flick. That's also kind of a dark comedy, but it's good stuff.
That is true. An investigative team armed with state-of-the-art equipment, high-powered weaponry, and a biting sense of sarcasm must work together to defeat Black Lake's most ferocious resident, a 30-foot prehistoric crocodile named Lloyd Cryer. This was released July 16th, 1999. It's an American natural horror monster film called Lake Placid, even though it takes place in Black Lake. But anyway, it was directed by Steve Miner and starring Bill Pullman and Bridget Fonda. All right, Lloyd.
Lake Placid.
Lake Placid.
It's a crocodile movie.
Crocodile movie. It's not alligator. It's not crocodile. It's Lake Placid. All right?
Lake Placid. So
why was it called Lake Placid? Like, why was it called Lake Placid? Like, what was the background?
Placid
of it being called
is
Lake
like,
Placid?
isn't Placid like it's a nice, calm, relaxing thing? So I think they're just saying it's a placid lake. Does that make sense?
I don't know. I mean, I
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
know it has. I know Placid is a person who is angered very easily too. Who knows? There's no backstory for this.
Oh, Placid? I thought Placid meant like peaceful and.
I think it does, but I think you could use it or.
Yeah, not easily upset or excited.
Oh,
especially
well, it's the opposite.
Especially a place or stretch of water, calm and peaceful with little movement or activity.
It's a play on words. It's called. Why don't they just call it Lake Calm? And people probably would have went and saw it. They would have been like, all right, Lake Calm.
Yeah, people were like, I don't know what placid means. I'm not seeing this movie.
I ain't gonna see no movie called Placid. Lake Placid?
Lake Placid.
No Lake Placid.
Placebos. I ain't getting no vaccine.
I ain't getting no vaccine. I mean, why don't they just call it Big Ass Crocodile is not Placid?
He is not placid. I don't know. Call Steve Miner or whoever named it that. Maybe the writer.
I don't know, but the best scene in this movie is when the crocodile jumps out of the water and eats the bear. It's like the best scene of the damn movie. He's like, "Argh!" The bear's like, holy shit, I'm a black man, but I'm getting the shit out of me.
Either that or any scene with Betty White in it.
Oh yeah, Betty White should be in every movie. You know, I think if Betty White was in Carrie 2 and actually played the main character, that would have been a lot better. But it's just been old lady like Betty White, like, oh, you sons of bitches. Would have been like, hell yeah. You know what's a off topic. You know what's a great movie with Betty White? Hard Rain. Remember Hard Rain with Christian Slater?
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
I don't know if I've ever seen that, but I remember that movie.
That's a great movie. She's the best part of that movie too, because she plays this like finicky, crazy old woman who's like, they're coming to rob us. Look at them. Ooh. Okay, guys, we're watching Hard Rain after this.
Now, Betty White, you're right, though. She should be in a lot of stuff, but she was great in this. Wasn't she the old lady that was actually kind of feeding the crocodile?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It'd come up. She'd be like, oh, here you go. Crocodilia.
So you got a lot of, let's see, Hendershot said Hard Rain was good, and Mr. 80s said watch it, Lloyd. So I got to check
Hard Rain is fun, man. You got Morgan Freeman in it.
Okay.
That's all you have to do.
All right.
Morgan Freeman as a robber is so great. He's like, I'm here to take all of your money, but it's okay because I sound like this.
Yeah.
Freeman. It's like, all right.
And those were penguins.
I, myself, was not a fan of the Penguins, but it's all right.
I did get paid for narrating the Penguins. Todd Lewis says, I'd pay to see Betty White as Carrie. I would too. Somebody make that happen now.
Let's do a like Psycho. Let's do a shot-for-shot remake of Carrie with Betty White in the titular role, okay? She's going to be in there.
Yeah.
Creepy Carrie. Oh!
How many Lake Placid movies did they make? Because they got really bad. The last one was on Sci-Fi.
I know there's Lake Placid versus Anaconda at one point. So
what? Oh my God! There it is.
You.
Yeah.
There's a crossover movie. Yeah. Because why not?
There's wow, there's even like a TV series. What? That's got to be something else. 2016.
I mean,
yeah, that's something else.
well, every movie after this was like made for television. I know that. Every sequel to this was made for television.
Yeah, they were like sci-fi
Placid.
movies, weren't they? Because you had Lake
pretty
Placid,
sure-
the final chapter. I remember trying to watch Lake Placid Legacy that came out in 18, and boy, was that a stinker.
I'm pretty sure that the owner to the rights to this movie probably lost him in like a game of poker. He was like, "Shit, I lost the rights to Lake Placid." So I was like, "Hell yeah, you did! I'm making all kinds of Lake Placids now." Oh shit, Lake Placid in space. How can you take a crocodile to space? I don't know, but he's going.
Yeah, on a
He's going to
spaceship.
space.
That's how.
He's on a spaceship. He's a big ass crocodile going to space. What's next?
Well, the first one is good.
It is. It's actually good.
I want to
Effects
say
were done by Stan Winston on it.
Yeah. And there was a Blu-ray for it from Scream Factory. But I don't know if that's gone out of print or not.
Dude, I don't know. I was looking up these movies today to see what went on Blu-ray, and I started drinking, and I forgot to finish them. So
Oh
it
yeah.
happens.
No, that's cool. Don't worry
I was
about
like,
it.
let me look up these movies when they were released on Blu-ray. And I got about 2 in, and I was like, more beer.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, it's time to do the show.
Well, viewers, you can look these up your damn selves because we ain't looking them up for you.
Actually, yeah, there is a Blu-ray from Shout Factory. It was released back in 2014. It's still available for $14.99 on Amazon. Currently on sale, actually, 50% off. So,
Well, there you go.
you want Lake Placid? Buy this one and pretend there's no other sequels to it, and then you're good to go.
And you're good to go.
But yeah, I mean, directed by Steve Miner. You know, Steve Miner is known as the bunch of horror movies. What, Friday 13th, 2 and 3, House,
2?
Warlock.
Or
yeah.
was he House 2 or the original House?
House.
Also? Okay.
And he did the phenomenal 2008 remake of Day of the Dead that everybody loves. You know,
Well, I guess we can't
That
really
movie
blame him
actually-
for trying to make a paycheck, right?
I don't know, but that 2008 remake actually gave me diarrhea. It was so bad. So
It is
that's
bad.
never the sign of a good movie. I had to run to the bathroom. So, I like Lake Placid though. I mean, I have another one I could go back and rewatch because I think it's probably been 15 years since I've seen this movie. So, I kind of need to rewatch this one because I don't know if it's still good or not because it's been so long. I may watch it and be like, "Well, that sucked."
Lake Placid?
Shit. Yeah.
I will tell you, I recently revisited that, and it's still enjoyable. So do it.
Was it Betty White? Betty White did it to you?
Oh, Betty White's fantastic, as we've already discussed. But
Did
this
she
movie
tingle
is
you?
worth. Yeah,
Did she give you the tingles?
not really. I'm not into, that. So sorry, but
I am.
it is a good
She
movie.
gives
If
me
you go
the-
back and watch it, you will enjoy it.
Cool. Yeah, I'll have to give it a rewatch. It's been a long time. I think I last watched it on VHS, so that tells you about how long ago I
Oh yeah,
watched this movie.
You need to watch the
So.
new Scream Factory, Blue. You'll enjoy it.
I trust you, Lloyd.
All right, here is
trust
one that my name ended up on, and I'm glad because I do really like this movie.
Oh, do you?
I really do. I think it's a great film. After being hypnotized by his sister-in-law, a man begins seeing a haunting vision of a girl's ghost, and a mystery begins to unfold around him. This first debuted at the Fantasy Film Festival in Germany, July 28, 1999. It's the American supernatural horror film Stir of Echoes, written and directed by David Koepp, and based on the 1958 novel by Richard Matheson.
Oh, hell yeah.
That, if you watch this movie and you don't realize that it was written by Richard Matheson, then you kind of lump it into some of that stuff that came out after The Sixth Sense, or around the time of The Sixth Sense, as being a kind of a copycat. But honestly, it was written by one of the great American horror authors, Richard Matheson, back in the 50s.
Yep.
So I think this is a good movie.
Yeah, Richard Matheson is, like you said, largely known for I Am Legend, but also co-scripted Last Man on Earth, which was from that. Mm-hmm. And he's, like you said, one of our best horror writers. One of probably my favorite horror writers ever. He did so much. all the way up to like Twilight Zone episodes, you know.
And super prolific. Matheson wrote a ton of stuff, kind of like Stephen King did. So, if it weren't for the fact that Matheson wrote this, then I probably would have lumped it in with all of the kind of the Sixth Sense kind of copycats that came along afterwards.
Yeah, and I've always liked this movie a lot. I mean, I think this movie is really well made. The screenplay was adapted by the director. Director David Cope.
Cope or Cap, however you pronounce it. Koepp.
David PP directed this. David PP, and you know it's actually really really well done. The director for this, you know, he was kind of known as a writer more than a director. I know that he hadn't directed much, but I know he was a screenwriter because I know he was kind of known for adapting books because he was the guy who adapted Jurassic Park from book to screen. So that's kind of a cool thing. You know, it's kind of just. But he also did a lot of stuff. I mean, he wrote Death Becomes Her, which is a great movie.
That is a good movie.
Yeah, he also wrote the first Mission Impossible movie. Just lots of stuff. So really good guy. And even
Talented
even up to the first Spider-Man movie that Sam Raimi did, he wrote that too. So it's definitely a good guy to be familiar with his work. Not so much known for directing though. You know, this was, you know, probably the one most people have seen that he's directed. He hasn't directed a lot of others. He did a movie a few years ago called Mordecai with Johnny Depp. That's not very good. Let's just say that. But
I haven't tried.
I always
watching
like to don't do it. Please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't make me. Don't do that to yourself. But no, great movie.
It is. It's got a great little kind of a, you know, twist ending, which was one of the hallmarks of the other Sixth Sense ripoffs. And
yeah. But hey, this was released before Sixth Sense. So
it was released before Sixth Sense. Probably didn't get as much attention.
Got overshadowed.
Definitely got overshadowed, and which is kind of a bummer. But it's a good movie. I really love it. I love the story. And, you know, like I was saying, once you realize that Matheson originally wrote the novel or the story that it's based on, then you realize, okay, this has got some pedigree here.
Yeah. It definitely was released at the wrong time. I mean, like we said, it debuted at that Fantasy Film Festival in Germany, and that was in July, and it actually didn't get a full release in the U.S. until about 3 or 4 months after this. And by that time, well, Sixth Sense had already been out. And everybody was like, oh, shit, that's Sixth Sense movie again. Like, no, it's not. This was actually shot and written way before the Sixth Sense. Come on.
Yep. So Stir of Echoes, Kevin Bacon's good in it. Anyway, so. But definitely watch this. For those that have said they haven't seen this, watch it. It's really a good supernatural horror flick.
Yeah, it's really good. I've never read the novel by Richard Matheson for this one. I have read a lot of other Richard Matheson's work, but I've never read the novel for this one, so I'm not sure how faithful it is to the book. With the director being known for adapting books, I would hope it's pretty close, probably updated a little bit, but I'd like to go back and maybe read the book. This one's streaming on Tubi, free with ads, though, if you want to watch it. It's on Tubi.
It's on Tubi. So
it's on Tubi or Stars if you have Stars. I think it was on Stars too, wasn't it?
Hulu or
Hulu.
Tubi. Yeah. Or rent it on Vudu for $3.99, or get the Blu-ray for $7.99
on Amazon for $8.
There you go.
Which I can't spell Amazon. I spelled it amazing.
I noticed that. I was like, that's amazing.
Get it on amazing.com, guys. That's my new website.
Amazing.com. You should do that. Somebody probably already has that.
What I do on amazing.com is I order you shit from Amazon, and I charge you $1 extra, and I ship it to you. But I do the work.
I just do the ordering.
I do the ordering. $1 more than Amazon.
Well, the next
Not
one
free.
that we are up to, Charles, is something that we've already talked about quite a bit just
Yep.
till tonight. But you had to. I think it warranted talking about it before we officially mention it.
I had to put it on here, and I don't 100% consider this a horror movie either. A lot of people do, but I don't. But let's talk about it.
Yep.
A boy who communicates with spirits seeks the help of a disheartened child psychologist. Released August 6, 1999, it is an American supernatural psychological horror-ish film called The Sixth Sense, which is written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Shamalama Ding Dong.
Shamalama Ding. The first of the 9 of the same movies he did over and over again. So
Yeah. Well, here was my, I liked The Sixth Sense. It's a good movie. We all know it's a good movie. It was huge blockbuster back in the day.
yeah.
But I kind of credit this movie and Blair Witch Project for adding some more life to the horror genre. I really do. Even though, because those two were like really accessible horror flicks for the mainstream, and it kind of showed that horror movies can still make big money.
And much like Blair Witch, another one they made too many copies of because you can still buy a brand new VHS copy of it from Amazon.com. They will ship it to you. Prime free same day delivery. They've got them everywhere.
Boom,
Go
get
ahead.
you some. Well, The Sixth Sense. Here's the problem that I had with The Sixth Sense, and I don't know if it was really a problem, but this was based, to me, this was another riff on that Turn of the Screw story.
Yeah.
That was basically all Sixth Sense was. And that movie was made into, that story was made into a movie 100 times, seems like, Turn of the Screw. So,
Hey, this one was nominated for Best Original Screenplay at the Oscars, though, Lloyd.
Which is amazing to me because, how original is it? It's basically Turn of the Screw, right?
Well, screw it.
Yeah. And a bunch of other movies have used, this kind of, the ending that they had, or the basic premise of what was going on.
Yeah, this was I say there's some horror elements to this, but I've always leaned this more towards like a psychological thriller. And I think if you even pull this up on IMDb, it's not credited as a horror film on IMDb. I don't think that's listed as a genre for it. I think it's like a drama thriller on there.
Oh yeah.
So, but I had to include it on here because it does have horror elements. A lot of people consider it a horror film.
And I can see that. It's ghosts and dead people and whatever,
Woo!
So absolutely, it's got a
Scary.
supernatural element. So yeah,
I had this movie
it's a horror
ruined
movie.
by my. I had this movie ruined by my friends who went and saw it when it came out. They came and told me the ending. They're like, "You gotta go see The Sixth Sense. The guy's dead
the whole time. He's dead the whole time."
You have to go see it. It's such a big twist. That's pretty much what they told me. I was like, okay, thank you for the twist.
Right.
They're like, yeah, you're gonna be like, oh man. I'm like, no, I'm not. You just told me.
But this movie, this is another movie that started a whole bunch of movies going, that kind of went down the same path. It started a trend of filmmaking. We had a bunch
That
of
was all done
movies.
by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. He made all the same movie over and over
not
again.
just him, but a lot of people were doing it. Like, you remember The Others, with which is basically another riff on Turn of the Screw.
And I'll actually say I like The Others better than I like this movie, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna put that out there.
I
But
think
some people love this movie.
Uh-huh.
And I'll say it's a good movie. It's a film that existed and it was fun.
The Sixth Sense.
It's everywhere. Sixth Sense is everywhere, and it's still everywhere.
Oh yeah.
People still talk about the Sixth Sense like nobody's seen it. I'm like, we've all seen it.
Yeah.
You ever seen The Sixth Sense? No, I haven't. What is it? It's a movie about a boy.
I appreciate
who sees dead people.
I appreciate the approach that Shyamalan did with.
Gotta say it right.
Or came at this film with, Shyamalama Ding Dong. I can never get it
Shamalama
right.
Ding Dong. Shamalama Ding Dong.
But I did. I like the visuals in this film. I like Bruce Willis. I think he's a great actor. Or he used to be. I don't know about nowadays, but I like this overall. I like this film, and I think I'm gonna stand by and I'm gonna die on this hill. I think Sixth Sense and Blair Witch Project really brought attention back to the horror genre. So
Yeah.
if for anything but that, I'm happy with it.
I just think, M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong, he brought out so many films that led up to the amazing film called The Happening. One of the best films I have ever seen in my life, The Happening. It actually changed me as a person.
I actually
forever.
like The Happening a lot. Just because it's so wonky and so weird.
I remember... Oh, we can talk about The Happening later. I remember watching it and
We'll talk
crying
about it
because
later.
was so bad.
You cried.
We'll talk about it. I cried. I cried tears of blood.
I cannot believe you gave me the next one, Charles. I'm so excited.
It landed on it. I'm glad you've seen it because it's fantastic.
I love this movie. I sought it out and bought a Japanese DVD years and years ago just because that was the only way to see it.
It's probably...
And it's
not
still
easy
the
to
only
get.
way to see it, yeah.
Well, no, there's supposed to be a Blu-ray from Synapse coming out, but we know Synapse. They say we're bringing out this movie, and then 9 years later they're like, boom, it's released. That's what happens with Synapse, and we're still waiting for it.
Them and Grindhouse, they do the same damn thing. They'll announce something, and hey, we're working on this Blu-ray. 6 years later.
6 years. And that's a lot of Synapse movies. There's so many times where it's like, okay, Synapse.
Yeah.
When's it coming out? We don't know, but I can tell you we're working on that shit. Oh, okay.
So we've kept everybody in suspense for quite a bit. So we should probably go ahead and talk about this.
No.
Okay.
Let's keep talking about it.
All
no,
right.
go ahead. Yeah, it's a great movie, guys. Sorry.
It's
Go ahead.
great. Only legendary Japanese garage rock band Guitar Wolf can stop a race of aliens from destroying Earth with an army of zombies. Released in Japan August 28, 1999, this is the Japanese comedy horror film Wildo Zero, directed by
Wildo Zero.
Tetsuro Takuchi. So, Wild
Did
Zero...
you say touch coochie? Touch coochie?
Takakuchi?
Touch
Takuchi? Takuchi?
Touch coochie. Takuchi.
Takuichi. I don't know, guys.
Takuichi.
I don't speak Japanese. I
I
don't
do.
speak Japanese, man. So
I
we got a
speak enough.
trailer for Wild Zero.
It's the best one I could find too. It took a lot of looking to find one that you could actually watch.
And I'm glad you did find a trailer though for it, because trying to describe this movie to people, it
can't.
It's crazy but it's fun. So here we go. Here's the trailer.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's great. It's got a great soundtrack. I remember when this came out, I sought this band out just to listen to them. This is a real band, guys. It's Guitar Wolf, right? Is the name of the band.
Yeah.
And the lead singer's name is Guitar Wolf. And everybody else is guitar drummer, guitar bass. That's their names. Kind of like the Ramones.
Yeah.
But guitar, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if you look it up, it says starring like Guitar Wolf, like the starring people. It's like starring Guitar Wolf.
And then guitar bass.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic movie.
Oh, it's so great.
It hit mega cult status very quickly.
Very quick, yeah. It's one of the last great Metasploitation movies. I'll call it that because it really is. It's so great.
It's fantastic, and it's sad that you can't really watch it anywhere legally right now.
No, you can't. It sucks. Not streaming. Like I said, Synapse has announced they're bringing out a Blu-ray at some point, but like we saw with Massacre at Central High that took 6.5 years, we may see it, at some point.
Well, it's kind of a bummer, but
even
this had to be included
trying to
on
import it
1999.
is. Oh, this was the first one on my list too. When I knew we were doing 99, I knew exactly what was coming on that list. I was like, "Yep." I was like, "Wild Zero." There is actually you can get a DVD of it, a US DVD still.
Really? No way.
From Synapse. Synapse has a DVD out.
Is it
I'm not
out?
kidding.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Actually, no. Synapse brought out a DVD for this like 20 years ago, and it's been out of print forever. But apparently, it's in print on Amazon.
You know what? I do remember this now.
Yeah.
I remember Synapse bringing this out.
I haven't seen it in print in like years. So I guess they probably found some in the corner somewhere at the Amazon warehouse and was like, hey,
I guess.
here it is.
So there it is,
do
Wild Zero, on a US DVD, $15, guys.
Yep.
I recommend buying this right now. I really do.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Please
Before you
buy this
can't
movie. This
get
is
it.
I was looking up some stuff on this, and there was a review that so accurately described this movie. It said Wild Zero is beyond perfection. It has transcended into a realm of unbelievable amazingness. I was like, yep, that's the way to describe it. It really is.
Yeah. It is.
I feel like Amazon needs to sponsor us because we're always telling people to go to Amazon.
They really
Amazon. If you're out there, Amazon, listen to us.
Allie just ordered it, she said.
Allie, she probably got the last one. They were like, hey.
Yeah, I'm glad she
but
got it. Let us know what you think.
I'm glad
of
you got
Allie.
it too.
It's fun.
I actually may go on and order a copy of it too because I don't have a copy of it. I need to go on and order one.
I've got an old Japanese DVD that I paid way too much for. I imported it from Japan, and yeah.
I'll say that I've watched it recently, and I didn't use a legal method like I should have because I really wanted to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I watched it, which was probably 2 months back, it wasn't anywhere because I actually looked for the Synapse DVD, and it was on eBay for like a crap ton of money. I was like, I'm not going to pay that for it unless it's a Blu-ray. So I guess Amazon got it in stock, guys. Do it.
Yeah,
go get them.
Definitely get on this one. It's been out for a while. I completely forgot Synapse actually did release this. I forgot all about
They
that.
did. They have the rights to it, but they've been talking about that Blu-ray for a long time because apparently they were going to get the original negative and remaster it and do all the stuff like they said with Massacre at Central High, which I just brought up, which actually ended up looking great. It just took 7 years, to get the damn movie. So I would say get this while you can because it's a great movie.
Yeah,
it's one you kind of need for your collection. You really needed it. You won't be disappointed. If you're disappointed, I'll be confused and very sad.
Yeah, and the music's fun if you're into that Ramones kind of punk rock kind of stuff, but it's also got its own feel to it. It's got, it's all in Japanese, of course. So who knows what they're even saying, but it's fun music. It really is.
Yeah, it's it's a great movie. It's a lot of fun, like we've said. Not much else you could say about it, but the guy who directed this, I know, never did anything really again. He ended up directing a music video for Guitar Wolf, I think, and then I don't think he ever did anything again, which is interesting.
Interesting. Well,
it's a great movie though.
Fantastic.
It's totally
movie.
Japanese. Yeah,
a movie that's not very well known at all, which is a crime. So the next one is a little more well known Japanese movie, Charles, and this one's yours.
A widower screens girls to help him find a new wife, but the one he fancies, fancy like David Dugas, is not who she appears to be after all. First debuted at the Vancouver International Film Festival on October 2nd, 1999. It is the Japanese horror film Audition, directed by our favorite guy, Takeshi Miike, based on the 1997 novel by Haruo Murakami.
Let's watch this trailer. Kitty, 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 kitty. It always sounds like she's saying kitty, 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 kitty. I don't know what she's saying, but
this movie made me so uncomfortable watching it because there's just so much going on. And I'm just like, what is she doing?
Yeah.
Stop.
Well, this is the movie that introduced me to Takashi Miike, and boy, oh my goodness,
he is one of my favorite Japanese directors. Takashi Miike. He's a goofball. He really is.
And I tell you what, we had the actress here, Ihai Shino. We were very honored to have her at Texas Frightmare Weekend back when we were at the Sheraton. And that was a huge, huge honor for me to have her as a guest.
Oh yeah, me too. She is fantastic. She's done a lot of other just fantastic cult movies. And she still looks great too. I mean, she looks like she did in this movie. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Yeah, she was gorgeous.
We had her. It was about 10 years after this movie when Tokyo Gore Police was coming out, and Tokyo Gore Police is another fun movie directed by another crazy director, Yoshihiro Nishimura. That's another fun movie if you haven't seen it to check out. But Audition, hopefully you've seen Audition. If you haven't, I mean, Audition is on Shudder. There is a Blu-ray out that Arrow did, the Blu-ray for it. Great Blu-ray. It's just it's just fun. It's just great.
This is a very, very good movie. It's a anybody that hasn't seen it, it's a super slow burn movie. You do have to hang in there and watch the film. Travis, it's really good. Travis says he's never seen it. But you do have to be patient with this movie. It's supposed to be that kind of a slow burn. That's the way the pacing was structured that way on purpose. So when you do watch it, hang in there with it because man, this movie pays off big time.
It does pay off, and I can remember the first time I saw the trailer for this when that bag moved, and I was like, the hell?
Yeah,
I didn't see the movie for like 4 or 5 years after I'd seen the trailer because I just remember it not being accessible like to wherever when I was in the early 2000s. I remember not being able to see it until like 2004, and it was finally available for rent. I remember at the time, and I remember watching it. It was definitely a slow burn, but it was worth it. And I love that trailer because it's just all of a sudden that bag's like, what's going on? It's like a weekend at Frightmare HQ.
I imported a Chinese DVD, and it was a cheap Chinese DVD of this movie. Very cheap.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and that's the way I originally saw it. But any way you can see this movie, check it out.
Yeah, the Blu-ray is available from Arrow, and it's actually only like $20 on Amazon, and the Blu-ray that Arrow brought out is fantastic. They did a really great copy of this film, mastered it really high, and it's probably the best way to watch it. I've seen it streaming. The streaming version that's on Shudder and everywhere else is kind of a little bit older streaming version, one that's kind of been around for a while, so it's not as good as Arrow's disc, which streaming's never as good as disc, but
right.
If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend just watching it first. Not maybe diving in and buying it because it's not for everybody. But I think it's a fantastic film. It really is.
Yeah. It's an amazing movie, and but you're right. It may not be everybody's cup of tea just because it is such a slow burn. But there's some really messed up stuff going on in this movie.
That is the truth. Now the next one is one that it's yours, but I like this next one.
Okay.
I actually like this next one a lot, and I don't know a lot of people who don't do it. A lot of people who don't like this movie, but I don't care. I like it.
I like it too.
life.
So, an amusement.
Well, good. I like you, Lloyd.
An amusement park mogul offers a group
I love
of
you,
diverse
baby.
people $1 million.
I'm
to
diverse. I want
spend
to give you
the night
$1.
in a haunted house with a horrifying past. Released October
I wanna be your
29th,
boyfriend.
1999. It's the American supernatural horror film House on Haunted Hill.
I want your chon chon.
It's directed by William Malone. Has Jeffrey Rush and Famke Janssen. A remake of the 1959
Famke
film
Janssen.
of the same name.
I love Famke Janssen. Famke Janssen's so good.
We had a poster for this one, and now this is in no way as good as the original House on Haunted Hill. We can get that off the table. It's definitely not.
Of course.
But I like this. I think it was well updated. I think the problem a lot of people had in it was some of the really cokey effect shots that were done with some of the scenes, but I like this movie a lot. I think it's super creepy. It has some fun shots in it. It has interesting story, and it's a good example of doing a remake and adding something new to it. Unlike when we talked about Psycho, which was a shot-for-shot remake. This is an example of trying to do something different. And isn't as good as the original, no, but it's at least its own thing, and it was actually a lot of fun to watch, you know?
Yep. That basically sums up what I think about House on Haunted Hill too. It's just it's a fun ride. It's nothing to take too seriously. And didn't it do pretty well in the box office?
It did all right. It wasn't like, you know, a massive hit or anything, but you know, I recall the trailer was a lot of fun, and I watched the trailer before this, but you know, I couldn't find a decent enough copy to do it, but yeah, it did all right in the box office. I mean, it didn't bomb or anything. Jeffrey Rush is a lot also in it. So,
Mr. 80s mentioned that Chris Kattan and Jeff Combs is in this. Also, Ari Larder.
Yeah, Ari Larder's in this.
Lisa Loeb, a Dallas girl, is in this too.
She plays a reporter. Jeff Combs plays a doctor. Dr. Vonnegut.
Yeah. So, yeah, look, fun movie, nothing too serious, just popcorn, fun times. There you go.
You know, much like Betty White, I think Betty White and Jeff Combs should be in every movie. Because I know they had fun to every movie. If you put Jeff Combs... Okay, guys, we need our Carrie remake with Betty White as Carrie and the William Cat character played by Jeffrey Combs. All right? This is going to be the greatest Carrie remake ever.
Can't say I disagree. Remake. Can't say.
Can you see it?
I can see
it, you just see the amazingness? Yep. And I'm going to be in there because I want to play Nancy Allen's part. I want to be the evil little girl who pulls the blood.
There you go. Right. So,
you don't laugh at me, Lloyd. You're not going to be in my movie, Lloyd.
I'm going to laugh at your dirty pillows. That's what I'm going to laugh at.
I got my dirty pillows, man. I'm going to be shaking the dirty pillows. I'm going to be like, Mama, they're called breasts, Mama. We can't talk about my dirty pillows anymore, Lloyd. They're breasts.
That's right.
I'm a woman now. I'm a woman.
All right, Charles. Let's get to the next one. The next one is yours.
This is another fun one too. Ichabod Crane. Well, there we go. I just gave the whole movie away with the first letters and the whole sentence. Ichabod Crane is sent to a small town to investigate the decapitations of Trace people. Trace. With the culprit being the legendary apparition known as the Headless Horseman. This is released November 19th, 1999. It's the American Gothic supernatural horror flick. Sleepy Hollow, directed by Tim Burton, starring Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci. Very, very loosely based on Washington Irving's 1820 short story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
One adjective that you forgot to put in there. Let's see, where did you were saying this is the Gothic supernatural horror film. You forgot steampunk.
Oh, it's steampunk.
There was a lot of steampunk in there, right?
There was some steampunk going on here.
Exactly. Which was kind of cool.
This is basically, in my eyes, the end of Tim Burton. This is kind of the end of the fun Tim Burton, because after this he decided he was going to make Planet of the Apes. He decided he was going to make Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He decided he was going to make all this crap, and then it doesn't feel like Tim Burton anymore. I love Sleepy Hollow. This was a fun movie, very dark film. This was a rated R film, which we don't see from Tim Burton really anymore. Pretty gory, and just a lot of fun, and a phenomenal cast in this, you know?
Yeah, really good cast.
Yeah, Jeffrey Jones is in this, and he's great in this. Christopher Walken, for like the 3 seconds he's in it, is probably the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
He's so great. What do you think of this one?
I like it a lot. I like the updating of it. I like how they, added some steampunk type stuff there, because that was really getting to be very popular around this time. So I think it's cool. I think it's a cool movie. I think it's fun. I don't know what else I can really say about Sleepy Hollow. I do agree with what you said, that it was kind of the last of the really good Tim Burton films.
Really was. And I remember watching this, and I went and saw probably like almost every Tim Burton movie in theaters. And I remember after this being really excited that he was going to do Planet of the Apes. And I remember seeing Planet of the Apes and was like, what in God's name just happened to the world? I went outside, and the sun's never been as bright as it was since before I walked in and watched Planet of the Apes. Never has been.
Planet of the Apes was terrible. I mean, it was just
With
bad,
Mark
man.
Wahlberg.
And then he comes back
It's
to
so
Earth,
bad.
and it's the President
The monkeys.
Lincoln ape, and the chair. It was just like this has gone too far, y'all. You
And you got Charlton Heston in it as an ape. Remember Charlton Heston? He's like, "Damn them all to hell!" He's like an ape. And I'm like, "Stop ruining your lines, you
I
asshole!"
know you.
Charlton Heston.
You should not have taken that role, Heston. Speaking of Heston, I
Oh
just
my
watched.
God.
I don't know why I'm mentioning this, but
I don't care. We can talk about whatever we want.
My film last night that I watched was Soylent Green. Haven't seen that movie in a little while.
People,
It's people.
tell the world.
I love Soylent Green, and I love Heston as well. So, but yeah, Planet of the
love
Apes
Soylent Green.
was blasphemy, man. It was worse than
I
the Planet of the Apes cartoon series, which was
watch a lot
very
of
good
Heston flicks.
compared to that.
I just watched Omega Man about a week ago. I love Omega Man.
Yeah, I love Omega. That's on my queue.
He's
I'm gonna
so
watch
great.
that one again soon.
He's so great in that. He's just like, he spends half the movie with his shirt off for like no reason. He's like, "Well, guys, we're
And
here.
he does. He
I'm the
rubs
last
his
man
chest a
on
lot.
Earth."
He's like, "Oh,
He's playing chess, and he's like, "Which move should I make, Mr. Mannequin?" Oh, this one? Oh, he turns on the TV and it's himself, and he's like, "There's that stud."
Oh yeah, there's too much
There's a
sex
reason
on
why-
TV. I'm so sexy."
There's a reason why I'm the last man on Earth. Nobody else could handle any of this. Ooh,
Okay, we'll go.
You know,
we'll get off of
and
our.
Charlton Heston looks just like my grandpa too. It's weird.
Oh, that
You
would,
ever meet my grandpa?
that
My
would
grandpa's
freak
in
me
his
out
80s,
as a
and
kid,
he looks
bro. Because I love.
he
Planet
looks
of
like
the
Charlton Heston.
Oh my.
Oh
Lord.
God! But we were talking about Sleepy Hollow, and I'll tell
Sleepy
you,
Hollow, and then we got into Charlton
It's
Heston.
that's what we do with this show. We don't care what we talk about. We start somewhere and we end up somewhere else.
That's
But
right. We'll have a whole Charlton Heston episode later.
oh,
if anybody's
I could.
interested.
I could. But what was I talking about? Oh, Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, I mean it's great. Everything in it. I mean the costumes, the set direction. It's so great.
Yeah.
The way it's shot, like I was saying, Christina Ricci's fantastic in it, and like we say, it's like watching, somebody about to fall down a hill. You see them, you're at the high end, and then they're about to fall because you know what's coming after this, and that's Planet of the Apes, followed by the equally as bad but worse Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Which
It was like weird.
That was-
and Depp playing his weird like Michael Jackson-esque.
yeah. Hi, little boys.
It was just
You would be a lot better
so
if
bizarre,
you weren't wearing any
man.
pants.
I didn't think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory could get any more bizarre, and then they made that movie.
Yeah. I wish they would have made like the original. There was such a better. There was a sequel for the longest time in works to Willy Wonka that was supposed to be a dark, scary movie that was supposed to be Charlie Bucket as an older man, and he was like holding all these people like as slaves in his in his chocolate factory. I'm not kidding. It was supposed to be. It was around for the longest time. They were talking about it. Nobody ever made it.
I would have watched that.
That would have been better.
It would have been better than that, but
I'm gonna make it, Lloyd. Will you play an Oompa Loompa for me?
yeah, I'll do anything for you, Charles. Whatever you say, buddy.
All right.
Whatever you want.
I'm gonna play Augustus Gloop, but like an older, much fatter version of Augustus Gloop, and I'm gonna come back for revenge.
Mr. 80s did mention that Rick Baker did the makeup effects. That was the best thing about that Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, good.
The makeup effects were incredibly good. Too bad the movie
I'm gonna
sucked.
tell you guys that the movie is horrible. Everybody hates the movie, but anytime those Rick Baker effects land up at auction, they go for a shit ton of money. Because I watched a couple of auctions where they were going for like $7-8 people were spending. I'm like, it's the remake.
Yep.
I'm like, don't buy it.
I don't know. I would buy it just because Rick Baker, it was his stuff. That would be the only reason. Well,
would
speaking
wear it
about
too.
bad movies,
What?
our last movie on the list. I don't
Oh,
know.
I had to.
You know what?
It's this time. It is time, Lloyd. You must talk about it. You must do it.
Oh
Talk about
God!
the movie.
Should I read it in that accent?
You need to read it like you are the person
I don't know if
in
I
the
can
movie,
do it right
Lloyd.
now. I
You do it, Lloyd.
Let me try. At the end of the century, Satan visits New York in search of a bride. It's a Plex cop who now runs an elite security outfit to stop him.
Those.
Released
Arm.
November 1999 in California. It is the American
California!
supernatural action horror film starring
That's
me,
action.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. In the
Yes.
horror film, it's a horror film called
It's a scary-
of Days, directed
Oi!
by Peter Hyams.
You know Peter Hyams, he directed. Now, Arnold, let me see your muscles. Let me see the muscles, Arnold.
You know, on paper, this movie
I'll
sounded
pump
good.
you up.
But
How dare you, devil? You go away.
I would kill the devil.
That's pretty much the whole movie summed up. I'll kill you, devil. You do not understand. Ah!
Is that the Emperor Palpatine in the background in that fire? I can't tell what's going on. There's a lot of stuff coming out of that fire.
I don't know, probably.
On that poster.
I think
There's
I
like
think
a
that one of the-
semi truck and there's like 3 helicopters. There's a whole bunch of people.
Oh, dude, you gotta have
the
at
Emperor
least. You gotta have at
Palpatine,
least.
a
You
bunch
gotta have
of
at least
candles.
3 helicopters.
Yeah.
Look at all that. There's a bus in there too.
Is
There's
there
a
a bu-
subway train.
I thought that was like a diesel. Okay, you're right. That is a train.
That's a subway train.
I don't know. There's just lots of stuff coming out of that fire.
I'm pretty sure that this is like some Lamont configuration stuff going on here. Emperor Palpatine's in there, like you said. There's candles, all kinds of stuff.
There's
And Arnold Schwarzenegger's.
The Empire
Schwarzenegger's
State
like this.
Building is in there too. Looks like.
He's like, they do not know that I'm Arnold, and I will take down devil.
I would destroy the devil.
I destroy.
I
You know,
told you.
this movie was missing. Fuck, Udo Kier should have been in this movie too. He should have showed up as the devil. That's who he should have
I
played.
just
it.
want to see him
I am-
walk out of the
I'm
fire.
devil. I am the devil, Udo Kier. I was not in movie, but I'm much better. You like?
End of Days. Yeah, I hated that movie.
Jerry described it perfectly as a hot mess. This is a hot mayonnaise type of movie for the day. This is Hot Mayo, the movie. I saw this in theaters, and I remember at one point I got tired of watching it, so I put my sunglasses on and went to sleep during the movie. So there was that.
Yeah.
It's End of Days though, guys, and I can tell you it really was the End of Days when you watched this. That's what you
It
felt
was,
like.
Yeah. Just a bad movie altogether.
Like you said though, on paper, it seemed really good. It actually it had a
Right.
decent screenplay that sounded like it should have been good. But it was written by a guy who only wrote a couple of movies. I know he wrote Air Force One with what's his face, Indiana Jones. So that was a decent movie. But you watch this movie and it feels like it's on the cusp of like it should be good. But then Arnold Schwarzenegger appears, and as soon as Arnold Schwarzenegger appears, you're like, "Damn it, that's what's wrong with the movie."
So
Arnold, why are you here?
this was not only the end of Days, but it was also the end of good Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
Yeah,
It really was.
because
I
this
mean,
was just
we'd
the
had
wrong role for Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, really.
It was bad. I don't know. Batman and Robin, him as Mr. Freeze, that came out 2 years before that, so that might have started the beginning of the end, but this was definitely the end of good Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
Yeah, and the guy who directed this, we've talked about him before, Peter Hyams, and we talked about him with The Relic. The Relic was actually a good movie. He directed The Relic. I like The Relic, and like we mentioned, he also directed Stay Tuned, which is one of me and Lloyd's favorite movies. I don't care. Stay Tuned's
It is
awesome.
a good movie, yeah.
He was the executive producer of Monster Squad. I mean, he's a guy who's been around, but he decided to make End of Days, and then he decided to make Sound of Thunder. Then he decided to make
God.
Universal Soldier, The Regeneration. And then people were like, you know what, dude? I think it's about time you don't make anything ever again.
Sound of Thunder.
Like-
It's so bad.
Sound of Thunder, and it's not even redeemed. God, go back and watch Sound of Thunder now. It's even worse than you imagine. It's like watching like a train hit like 10 other trains. You just can't.
It is
do
fun
anything
to
about it.
watch it for the reasons that you're describing, but oh my god,
The
it's
effects are so
bad.
bad in it.
The effects
It
are
looks
the
like-
worst ever. They're worse than
It looks like something
anything
made in the
Ed Wood
80s.
ever did.
It looks like literally like the CGI in it like looks like something a kid did on his Macintosh laptop in like 1991.
It's bad.
Oh, dinosaurs coming! Look at the dinosaur! What?
Oh my god. My favorite part is when they're walking through the futuristic city, and they're obviously just walking in place. You know?
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
This is so futuristic.
It is.
Look at that over there.
It's totally that. That's it. That's what it is.
Look at this, guys. Look at all these futuristic items here. I can't even describe them. Let's keep walking.
He said Travis Brown said Peter Hyams did Time Cop.
Travis, you are Time Cop.
That's
yeah, he
right.
did direct Time Cop, though, if I remember. He also did Sudden Death, which is a fun movie.
Well,
But you
guys,
know what's not a fun movie? End of Days. Let's just say that.
it's not a fun movie.
No.
And that is the end of our list for 1999. But
It is.
We do have some honorable mentions that we should play. When do you
You're
want to do that
honorable
now?
mentions. We could do that. I just wanted to mention real quickly. If you guys ever wonder, End of Days cost $125 million to make, and it made $279 million worldwide. So it made a lot of money.
Well, at least it made its money back. I mean, good God.
Where
It
did
was
all the budget go?
It was
to
a
pay
stinker.
Arnold?
Probably.
All right, guys, we're gonna honorable mentions this shit because why not?
All right.
Why not?
The excitement is building.
Oh, you taped over this one.
I did. Sorry.
There we go. Let's see. Oh, Deep Blue Sea. You know what? I actually like Deep Blue Sea. It's kind of a minor.
People see it's fun.
Yeah, it's just kind of that. It's just fun. Yeah. Colobos. That was a good one.
No one can hear.
Linnea's in
Colobos.
that, isn't she?
Colobos.
Yeah.
It's a Greek movie.
Let's see.
No, maybe not. No. And it was called
yeah.
Haunted House too.
Linnea Quigley was in that one.
Ravenous.
Yeah.
Hop aboard the Mystery Machine for a Scoop-tacular ride.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Mystery only on video with Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost today.
Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Tit.
Yep. If you like to see Scooby Doo sucking on a witch's titty, this is the movie for you guys.
I'm not sure what this girl tied up movie is. What is this?
Oh, that's a great movie. You don't know this one?
Is it I'm trying to think. Freeway?
It's just
It's not Freeway.
no,
is
it's
it?
just the so close agamu.
Do what?
This is called the
Agape Moo.
Dostin Kolasa Agape Mu.
I don't know what that is. Never heard of it.
You never heard
A
of it?
Senate
I've
panel
never heard
of that.
describes
Oh.
Y2K,
It's called
the year
See You in Hell,
2000
My Darling. It's a
computer
great
bug,
film.
as a worldwide
Y2K.
crisis and one of the most
careful.
serious and potentially devastating events this nation has ever
Oh, it's gonna
encountered.
get you.
And
Y2K you.
It got me real good.
It's gonna get you. All your shit's gonna shut off at midnight.
Shut off, guys. The biggest problem ever.
Stigmata was good. I liked Stigmata.
Stigmata was good.
Alright.
None of this is real.
Oh, but it's real.
I have a special set of skills.
I'm going to tell you about these skills. All of them involve.
Prepare yourself for the next level of terror.
Oh, Wishmaster 13.
Oh, God. I had to put that honorable mention because I have to honorably mention how bad that movie was. So it's in there. Make your wishes.
To give you twice the fresh smelling lather of this bar.
Look at those effects in that movie. I'm telling you.
Lived for thousands of years. The world belongs to us.
Make your wish.
America Online
America
makes planning your
Online.
summer easier than ever.
Vacations,
Family
movies,
summer vacation.
concerts, and more.
This summer,
How many
keep in
discs
touch
did you end up
email,
with
instant
that
messages,
you got from
and buddy
AOL?
lists.
About 5,800.
Well, there you go. 1999, everybody.
East Coast 99.
We partied like it was 1999 tonight, Charles, with
We did.
some of the biggest movies of the decade. Like, End of Days.
We finished the 90s, though, guys. We made it
That's
all the way
it.
through the 90s.
The 90s are done, y'all. Boom. We killed
A couple
the 90s.
years were hard. A couple years were hard. A couple years were really hard.
In the 90s, they were. But the good news is we're going to start the all-new millennium, the first decade of the new millennium next Wednesday, Charles. We're going to be on 2000. That's where we're headed.
2000, and I can tell you right now, 2000 is a pretty good year too. I've already programmed 2000 through 2008, and there are some okay movies that came out, some movies that existed, but no, it got pretty good.
I see.
And I see everybody talking about Bats with Lou Diamond Phillips. All right, guys, I have to be honest with you. I don't like Bats at all. But it's a movie that came out in 1999, a movie called Bats with Lou Diamond Phillips. I once met Lou Diamond Phillips, and I did not talk to him about Bats at all. So let's just say that.
I met Lou Diamond Phillips, too, at the AFI Film Festival.
I had to do a Q&A with him.
Yeah.
For, the film festival. I had to get up in front of everybody and be like, all right, Lou Diamond Phillips, tell us about this movie you made. He's like, oh, I'm Lou Diamond Phillips. I was in La Bamba. I was like, yeah.
That's what I was known for. That and The First Power.
Yep. I was in La Bamba. It's like, well, we're here to talk about the other movie. No, we're talking about La Bamba. No, I did an interview with him when he brought a movie called Sanitarium. That was a pretty good movie, actually. I remember being pretty good. It was cool to get to talk to him. He's a really, really nice guy.
Yeah.
He was really drunk, though, and he gave me a big hug at the end and kind of lingered a little too long. I was a little creeped out, but he was still a really nice guy.
Having a hard time standing up. He just needed to lean on you or something.
He was trashed. I loved it, though, because he didn't even care. He was like, he told me beforehand, all right, Charles, well, I drank a little bit, but I was like, all right. But he was nice. I love it.
Well, that's good.
And he watched the movie with everybody, too, which was cool. I always like when people do that.
Richard Nettleton tipped $5 through Super Chat. Thank you, Richard. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, sir.
I need to give a movie to give away. We need to give a giveaway out, Lloyd.
Yeah, grab one. Grab one of those beautiful giveaway Blu-rays.
Do you have a question you can ask?
What do you got? What are you giving away? That'll help me decide.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen Burt just tipped us
Stephen
$20.
Burt tipped
Thank you.
$20.
Oh,
Fun show. Thank you.
I'm going to put my hand in this magic box of fun and see what I can pull out.
Okay, so Charles is digging around in something over there, making lots of
I got
crazy
this one.
sounds.
I pulled it out. Here, I got Blu-ray of Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. How about that?
Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. Okay, here's the question. What was the character's nickname in Dark Knight of the Scarecrow? The Larry Drake character. What was his nickname?
M-O-O-N.
M-O-O-N.
Scarecrow.
That spells Scarecrow.
Lord, yes. M-O-O-N. That spells Larry Drake.
Larry Drake's character, his nickname in Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, you will win a copy of Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. Richard Nettleton got it.
All right, Richard.
Richard,
I know your address because I stalk you, so I can just send this to you. It's all right.
Richard said it was Bubba. And then Twisted Nate
I
came
know
up
what you did to
just a few
Bubba.
milliseconds right after Richard, and he said Bubba also. Thank you for trying. You did not win. You were just a little bit late, but Richard Nettleton is our winner tonight, so congratulations.
Dang, Richard. So that's 1999. So we'll be back with the year 2000. But we're going to be back on Saturday, though. We'll be here on Saturday.
We will be here on Saturday. We'll be speaking with director, producer, writer, actor, Jeremy Sumrall, who put out a movie
Yeah.
called Pickaxe. He was also the big killer guy. What was that movie? He had a welder's mask on. He played a giant dude with a huge hammer. Having trouble remembering that, but Jeremy Sumrall is a Texas filmmaker, and we've known Jeremy for years and years. He's a big Texas Frightmare Weekend attendee as well. So looking forward to talking to him. He's got some stuff coming up that he's working on, some new projects. So can't wait to chat with him, and hopefully you guys will join us. Sweatshop, Richard Nettleton got it. That was the movie that he played the killer in. So
Nice.
Yeah, Sweatshop. That was cool.
Cool. Yeah, and then Saturday night we're gonna do a Twitch Prime watch party. I don't know if anybody's hosting with us. I don't think we had anybody, but regardless, if anything, I'll pick a movie like last week. I'll find us something to watch.
That's right. Unless somebody wants to jump in and join us Saturday night to co-host it. Otherwise, we're just gonna make it happen. Me and Charles.
I'm gonna make it happen. Me and the captain are gonna make it happen.
Yeah, Todd Lewis mentioned that he directed Pickaxe. Jeremy Sumrall did with Michael Baldwin and Tiffany Shepis.
Tiffany Shepis. Well, Ollie, you better make it. Ollie said it's hard for her to make 2 p.m. Saturday shows. Well, Ollie, if you don't make it, feel free to watch it later.
Richard, I think Richard just volunteered to co-host with us. So Richard,
well, it's good because I'm showing Schindler's List. So hope you guys are ready.
Are we going to let Richard pick the movie?
Yeah, Richard can pick the movie, please.
All right. Well, that'll be cool. It'll be good to have Richard back on. It's been quite a while.
And Ali Tapa needs to do it again. Ali Tapa hasn't done it in a while either.
Yeah.
Ali, I'm talking to you.
A lot of you haven't done it in a while, so
or if you've never done it,
we've had Mish and Dan back. We've had Travis Brown back.
Travis?
I'm having a hard time remembering more than 2 weeks ago.
I can't remember more than 6 days at a time.
Yeah.
After 6 days, it's gone. So I don't even remember what happened.
That's it. Well, I hope you guys had a good time tonight. We certainly did, as always.
Look, Todd Lewis says he's never done it. Come on, Todd.
Well, why don't you do it, Todd? Come on, brother.
Yeah. Why don't you do it, Todd Lewis?
Why don't you co-host
join us
with us?
Dude, you can pick the movie. I don't even care. It doesn't have to be horror. You can pick whatever you want, Todd.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll
Todd says I need Prime. That's his problem. He doesn't have Prime.
Oh.
That's rough. Well, you could could do it. You could pick a movie that you have, maybe, or that you could watch somewhere else. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, just let us know. Richard Nettleton, he's in. So, Richard, just let us know what movie you want to show, and that's what we'll announce it.
Richard's in like Flint. He's always in.
That's right.
He doesn't screw around.
All right, guys. I think that's it. What do you think, Charles?
Yeah, I think that is. I think that's it too. I don't know if we have anything else going on, but yeah, Saturday we'll be on, of course, and then next Wednesday we get to start to 2000s. Oh, also we're gonna try to do the Patreon show soon. We need to schedule that. Patreon show soon.
That very soon.
And for the Patreons, I'm looking at doing one of our live screenings for the Patreons. I'm trying to do it for January the 30th, which is a Saturday. So I'll let you know when that's finalized, though. I just haven't finalized it because I just haven't. That's how it is. It's kind of how it's been the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. I think that's going to wrap up the show for tonight. We had a blast, as always, and we love you guys, as always.
I love everybody here.
That's
Everybody's
right.
awesome.
So,
especially Lloyd. Looks like a stud.
Everybody have a great evening. Don't watch the news because it's full of a bunch of craziness. And just have a good night. How's that sound?
Oh, that's fine because I don't watch the news. I never know what's going on, and I'm always happy about everything.
There you go.
So.
There you go. All right. Peace out, everybody. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
This has been Frightmare HQ. I'm Lloyd
Half
Pryor.